Hello flight simmers, welcome back everyone and welcome to this super special full flight video today. It is the first time we are seeing the Fenix A320 for Microsoft Flight Sim, and oh boy, we have all been waiting so long for this aircraft to finally be available, and here it is. And yeah, I'm just super excited to have a very proper high quality A320 now for Microsoft Flight Sim. I think yeah, it might even more be a game changer than the 737-700 for me. So I will most likely yeah, do quite a lot of flights with this aircraft going forward. But now I'm already jumping ahead of myself, so let's take it from the start really. So yeah, here we are. It's just been released. It is the first release build, so I do believe it will be quite likely that we find some very tiny bugs along the flight today, but that's not a problem at all. We know that this can happen, and we can focus on the general aspects of this aircraft. And yeah, speaking of general aspects, the first thing which really sticks out is just how beautiful this aircraft looks in terms of exterior modeling. Oh sorry, now the GPU gets a bit loud here. But in terms of exterior modeling, it is just superb. It looks absolutely tremendous. You can see all the level of detail they have put in here. It is simply amazing. What I really love about this aircraft especially is sort of the wear and tear it has. So we can really see a couple of dirt stains, some signs of use all over the plane in the cockpit, but also from the exterior. And yeah, looks absolutely beautiful. I have done really just only one flight in this aircraft, so I just came here to Linate, where we are sitting right now. I flew up from Rome, and now this next leg down to Palermo I'm recording this video. So I'm quite new to this aircraft as well. Of course, I've been flying a lot of Airbus over at P3D, the FS Labs mainly. And yeah, so this will eventually allow us to even draw a small comparison between the Fenix and the FS Labs. Although it's two completely different simulators, it's kind of hard to compare, but I think this is really the question which most people want to have answered. So how does it compare to the FS Labs? And maybe we can try at the end of this video to have a small comparison, at least in those aspects which we can compare. And yeah, so now I've been talking a lot already. We are, as I've already mentioned, sitting here at Linate. I'm flying offline today, and I can only recommend for everyone out there to do this initially with a new aircraft. And even though we are of course familiar with the Airbus family, I think it's quite good to fly these new aircrafts offline. It can always come up something which is kind of hard to handle. So and then we don't have to bother other people flying online with that. And yeah, you can see here I've loaded in some AI traffic so that we are not so alone, although they are departing the wrong way, which is kind of bothersome already. However, I think before we spend the full video time out here, let's jump inside the flight deck, set up everything, and then of course we can admire the exteriors a bit more along the way. Right, so here we are in the flight deck, and the first thing which really sticks out is again the wear and tear. We can see it all around the flight deck, signs of use, some dirt on here. Look at this, how this area has been used. So I think this is really fascinating. It adds a lot of immersion in my opinion, even more than we had in the FS Labs maybe. And yeah, I'm just seeing rudder trim is a little bit off. Ooh, it's hard to set. Oh, come on. Okay, I did not expect it like this now. Huh. Interesting. Ah, there we are. Finally, 0.0. And yeah, and then they have, I mean, Fenix, they have made a few things public, some few limitations regarding this aircraft. and one of them is that the fonts and the writing, like the type of writing, is not according to the real aircraft, and this is a flight sim limitation, and I really appreciate that they have been so transparent about it, and I totally get it. It is of course something which would require apparently a lot of work, and which is not really worth it, but to be very honest with you guys, nevertheless it is something that kind of bothers me. I can't really put a finger on it, but I don't know, for some reason it just kills like a little bit of immersion for me. Not too bad though, of course. I mean, it's still a brilliant aircraft, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to the day where this is actually fixed in order to look like the real Airbus. Everything else basically, there's one more limitation regarding fuel flow. Maybe we can talk about it quickly later on, but for now let's just let's get started in order to not take too long for this flight. So this is really pretty much how I left it after the last flight, and we are over here at the EFB in the Fenix app, which is very much brilliant. And so this has been the previous flight, and now I can just import the next flight presumably. And there we are. Now that's our flight down to Palermo, and we have 16 minutes until departure. 16:45, now it's 16:29. Beautiful, that really adds up. And I'm not going to show you every detail because I'm quite sure you guys have seen other streamers show every little detail of this aircraft, so I will very much do like a normal flight. Very convenient is the weather, of course. We have the departure weather. I can tell you straight away it's quite beautiful. Both here at Milano and then also down at Palermo. Everything looking very good. That's the routing, and then we can go to mass and balance, and we can simply hit load aircraft, and I think I'm gonna give it the, let's do fast. 26 minutes is a bit long. Let's do it fast this time. So yeah, this has been started. Fueling, cargo's coming on board, passengers as well. Very awesome. Right, so let's just proceed with our normal setup. We are on the absolutely wrong nav database. I'm just realizing that now. Sorry about this, guys. I forgot to update it in the Navigraph app earlier on, but never mind. We are flying offline, luckily, so this does not come into play too much. And then let's go to Addons, flight init request. This was the old one. New one is Itaro 1775. It should be. Let's see if we can fetch it. Ah, there it is. Perfect. Okay, so this worked. Then let's go to init request, and see if this also works. Yeah, there we are. Perfect. Flight number Itaro 1775. Cost index according to SimBrief is 15 and cruise level 370. Of course, all the flows regarding the setup, regarding the AOC menu, it's a bit different compared to the FS Labs, but in general, for those of you who are acquainted with the FS Labs, this will just be very intuitive, pretty much the same, apart from some minor differences. Okay, AI traffic is departing towards the south. I know from Flight Radar that in real world they are not doing this, even though we will have a tiny bit of a tailwind component for this departure. So let's see what our routing is again. That's gonna be the Locci departure apparently. Also moving over to Navigraph. Sync route. Yeah, that worked as well. Beautiful. And now I will just tag some charts here that we have them conveniently. I will do the airport information. So we will depart runway 36, taxi all the way down there. And then now I forgot again the routing Logi arrival. Here is the Logi Arna transition. I remember. Okay, that's how they do it in Italy. I haven't been here for a long time, but now we kind of need to find the departure leading us to Epsom, which could be anywhere really. So this is something which sticks out, which I kind of have preferred in the FS Labs, that we are able to search for specific names and charts. That was a little bit more convenient in my opinion. But even this we can handle quite well. Yeah, this one looks good, I think. Was it this one? Yeah. Climbing out 1,804 miles, then right-hand turn a base, and that looks good to us. Let's just take it. So Abesem 6 Bravo. It's probably the wrong nav data, that's right. And then we have the Logi insert. Okay, I think arrival, it's like a 1 hour 20 minutes flight or something like this, so I can do the arrival later on. Shouldn't be any issue really. Then we have, oh, you know what, just maybe for accuracy, let's do it correct here. Okay, so runway in use at Palermo 07, and I believe this will be an RNAV. That's fun. Let's do RNAV Zulu without really knowing what we are in for at this stage, but we can update it later on. Giano 2 November. Giano 2 November. Cool. Insert. Good. Then let's do zero fuel weight. What do we expect? Yeah, this one is still rising, so I need to find a different one. According to sim brief, should be 58.8. Like that. Then alternate fuel is for Rome actually, so that's 1 hour flight time back to the alternate, which we hopefully won't need, so that's going to be 2.4 for the alternate. And secondary flight plan copy active. So now I kind of lost track. Let's do diff rip, so data, that's fine. Init flight plan red nav. We could potentially back it up, but we are flying an RNAV departure, so we don't really need to progress. Cruise 370, optimum 350. Okay, we might need to double check that later on. And then it's performance. And I think now, before I head over to the performance, I'm quickly waiting until the boarding and the loading is completed. In the meantime, I will already start the APU like that. Okay, in the meantime, we got a company message. That's the load sheet. Accept. And then we can also go ahead and enter the other values. So 0 fuel weight, center of gravity 32.1. And a block fuel of 7.6. Wind for the cruise is going to be tailwind of 12 knots. Like that. And that is boarding completed. Awesome. Okay, now let's head over to the departure performance. And this is going to be runway 36. We can sync the load sheet, which is very convenient. Takeoff weight 66.2. PAX will be on, anti-ice off, force toga no, flap config optimum, wind. We can also sync live weather, very nice, 31 degrees, nice and warm. And intersections none. So let's calculate and see what we get here. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tailwind component, but that's okay. 1 down 0 1, flex temperature 58, 136, 136, 140. Okay. 136, 136, 140. 1 slash down 0 1, flex 58. And thrust reduction, acceleration, I think we can leave it as it is. Okay, that looks good. And yeah, with that completed, all fine. I think now we actually need to wait for the final load sheet to arrive, and until it does, we can double check the departure. See if we have a initial climb clearance, which I don't see on here. Okay, then let's just go all the way. We are anyway offline, so let's do something like 300. That's okay for us. Constraints, VORs, like that. And yeah, also it would be kind of cool to have checklists on here, which I don't believe we have. Documents. We can even load in this flight plan. Haven't even seen that before. Yeah, that is cool. That's good. And also we have the weather here. Nice. Now I'm really just waiting for the final load sheet to arrive, and then we are good to go. It's already getting a bit empty here. Aircrafts are leaving the scene, but that's not too bad for us. Okay, you know what, guys? Let's do some stuff already. We can disconnect the air conditioning, have APU bleed on, fuel pumps are coming on, seat belts as well. And let's see, we have the parking brake set, that's good. And then we can disconnect the external power and get rid of this thing. Now we could also use this pushback, but I kind of like the other pushback app just to be able to pre-plan the pushback. Okay, pushback is planned with the tail to the left, and now we can request it. Let's do transponder 1000 to on TA, and now we also have the final load sheet, and that's in compliance within a certain margin of the original one, so this is perfectly fine. We can simply accept that. This goes to direct, this goes to performance. Good, good, good.
Parking brake set, lifting the aircraft.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
All right, so we are good to start. Forgot beacon, but now we should be good. And now there's this is like the only real sort of bug which I've experienced so far with the engine start, and I think it for some reason my key bindings are not entirely correct, I think, at the moment. So I had on the first flight I had some issues starting the engines, but let's try. I am using my TCA throttle quadrant, So I will do the buttons on here, and let's see if it does the proper stuff down here. So first let's go to ignition. That works, and now I will start engine number 2. We can see the starter coming on and the bleed valve opening. And now let's see if we can get a proper engine start. And there it is. If I move around, then for some reason it messes with the starter switch, which is super weird. Okay, that was the generator kicking in, so just waiting for the avail.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground. You may disconnect.
Okay, sir.
Ah, there it is, avail. Okay,
Pin has been
good.
removed.
Starting engine
Left
number
side.
1.
Good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Let's see if I can get a nice outside view on the engine here. Nice, that's looking good. Quickly getting a screenshot. That looks awesome. Yeah, and here we can really see the wear and tear. You can it's kind of hard to see, but you can see how all the dirt moves around in this wing shape according to the airflow. That's something small little detail which I really like. Okay, EGT is still rising. There's a veil. Okay, looks good to me. Starter back to normal, and I hope it stays there now if I move around. Yeah, that looks okay. Good, good, good. So APU bleed is coming off. APU master switch coming off. We have flap setting 1. This is coming to max. We have this coming to ARM. Our trim needs to be for a center of gravity of 30.1. 30.1 is around there, which does not quite add up with the down 01, which we have entered here. Let me double check this. Mass and balance. Here it is. Gross weight, center of gravity, of course, 29.2. Yeah, that adds up around there. Perfect. So this is set. Let's do turn off and taxi lights, and let's go. Parking brake and putting in some power. Okay, I think we can take the right-hand turn here and then just basically follow down parallel to the runway. Okay, down on Bravo, that's good. Yeah, the wing view in this aircraft is amazing. I feel like they have modeled the wing flex a bit better than FS Labs did. I always felt like in the FS Labs they could have added a little bit of more wing flex, and here it looks quite realistic in my opinion. Okay, TO config, that's normal. Very good. I'm not really paying any attention to the taxi charts here. Let's see, just straight on onto Tango. Ah, okay. That's very straightforward. Yeah, especially this wing view. I mean, this really looks like the real thing. This is really, it's actually hard to judge if you would see this picture. Is it real or is it flight sim? Just talking about the wing and the how the sun reflects off the wing itself. That's pretty amazing. All right, we're getting there. So let's finish the setup. TARA. Let's assume we're cleared for takeoff already, so all the lights are coming on accordingly, like that. It's a little bit stuttery at the moment. In general, I feel the performance is quite nice in this aircraft, so I had no issues with it so far. And I've pretty much switched on everything, so we could even turn off the cabin rendering in order to save some FPS, but I think it's fine. We don't really need to do that. I mean, FPS could always be better, of course, but I think it's more the scenery and the low sun and the shadows which is kind of affecting FPS here a little bit. Okay, left is clear. I haven't checked right side now. I think we are lucky, no AI traffic on there. And so we are pretty much ready to rock and roll. Let's hold short briefly. And let's have a brief look from the outside before we take off. I mean, just how it looks from outside is absolutely stunning. Look at the detail on this tire. Anyhow, we're standing on the runway, so let's get going. Starting the timer. Power to around 50%. Man, flex, SRS and runway. Climb nav blue. Auto thrust blue. It's a short runway. 100 knots. P1 rotate. That was my bad during the rotation. I did let go of the stick there for a second. Okay, positive radius coming up. This is so cool. I really love the sounds in here. The sounds are absolutely amazing. Milan down to the left hand side, and autopilot is coming on. Climb power. And flaps up, speed check, flaps up. Let's watch these flaps being retracted. Cool, and into the right hand turn. Okay, very good lights. Coming onto Epsom, and then I think we can eventually go direct Logi. Yeah, the sounds are really, really good. forgot to start this timer as well. Nice. Now we wanted to save some turning there, but it's okay. Now we can go direct Logi into the left-hand turn. Standard. This is synced up. Cool. Very, very good. Okay, that was a beautiful first departure in the Fenix A320, guys, and let's enjoy some more of this beautiful wing view. This really looks stunning. It's really makes me a bit speechless even. Okay, anyhow, guys, we will meet again on the approach into Palermo. So enjoy and see you in a bit. Alright folks, and we are back again with the wing view where we have left it earlier on, and I just want to show you guys. Can you see how like every single bolt in here they have modeled with a bit of a dent in the wing, and you can see it properly being reflected all along the wing. It's amazing, honestly. This is, in my personal opinion, this is even on an entirely different level than we see it on the PMDG 737 in terms of exterior modeling. Anyhow, back to the flying part. So we are just passing flight level 180, back a little bit early, but that's fine. Let's put some integrated lighting on just for the mood of it. Right, so flight time 1 hour 4 minutes up to this point. We are still planning for the RNAV arrival at runway 07. Yeah, this is the landing calculator, also quite nicely done. We can directly load in the weather, we can refresh it, apply the METAR. That's what we have. Wind 10 knots 020. Bit of a crosswind, we can see it here in the headwind component of 6 knots, quite nicely displayed on here. Weather is good, so runway is going to be dry. We expect a landing weight of 63.3, which I'm not an expert now, but I believe it's fairly high for an A320, given due to the fact that we still have a bit of fuel for the alternate being Rome. So now it's 63.5. Yeah, that makes sense. 63.3. And yeah, we can adjust the braking power, and then we can see the margins being adjusted here. So we are looking at the factored landing distance 1687 for medium. This would be max manual, and this is low. So runway is easily long enough for low auto brake, and that is what we will do as well. I have set this over here, and then looking at the charts. So this is the approach coming in from Giano, and basically we could, I think they would do this due to sorting out the traffic, but today we are pretty much alone, so we can take it straight from CJ432 direct to Ixosi, max 210 knots, and we have constraints there as well. And then from Ixosi we are on the RNP Zulu inbound Bispo, and then from Bispo it's going to be exactly 10 miles to the runway 07. 880 is the minimum missed approach altitude, 3000 holding out at Uksupi. Interesting names here. Yeah, we just have to be very sure. You can see minimum sector altitude 7,700. That's quite a lot, and that's of course all the terrain towards the south. So if anything goes wrong, we really want to stay out over the ocean. But visually we can really easily see that, so that should not be a big issue. Okay, so what I want to do is, since I'm quite sure I'm going to take the shortcut, I think we can go, let's make it easy for us and just go direct Ixosi, this one, insert. And yeah, while I'm here, I noticed there is a small little bug. We found something, which is this emergency light down here. It came on somewhere during the cruise, and we have absolutely no emergency or failure whatsoever, but I can't get rid of it anymore, so that seems to be a tiny little bug here. Something to fix in a future update. Right, I believe I still need to pop on the seatbelt signs. A bit late. We would want to do it latest at 15,000, flight level 150. And now look at this. Sun is slowly setting. Beautiful arrival here to Palermo, most likely. Let's arm this one. We are on the profile, so I don't think we will need it anymore. Good, and yeah, that's looking very good. Maybe a quick look at the airport chart, so we are briefed there as well. There is eventually exit Bravo. It's a high-speed exit towards the other direction, but we can still take it, so Charlie or Bravo. If not, we can also take Alpha. That should be no issue at all, and then park it somewhere up at the gates, I believe. Yeah, that looks good to me. Now, one last thing I wanted to check now is for the max landing weight. Now we calculate, I think, 63.3. Maximum would be 64.5. We are not that far off. A little bit more than 1 ton of the max landing weight. That's interesting. Landing lights are coming on now. Cool. And now we are really just waiting. No, one more thing. Sorry. It's an RMP arrival. I think I've mistakenly said RNAV arrival early on, but it's an RNP. So let's check for the required nav precision C. Wow, I can't find it, to be honest. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I feel like somewhere on here it should mention the required nav precision C. Yeah, I don't know. I might be entirely mistaken, guys. I think a real pilot would certainly know. But I believe we can enter it. Required 0.3, it's in here. Okay, that's, I think, for most RMP arrivals, so that should be good. Very well then, just waiting to get there now. Okay, coming up to 5,000, let's keep it descending, and also I'm just noticing I should be on the local 1026 now. This is set. Going down there. Direct to the airport is 13 miles. Now let's check for track miles. 16 track miles. Okay. Yeah, I want to slow down before this turn, that's for sure. and I think we might just need a touch of speed brakes. Yeah, I don't want to head into this turn with a speed of 240 knots. Definitely gonna overshoot this turn. Okay, flaps 1, speed checked, flaps 1. And a beautiful outside view. Nice. Let's go flaps 2, speed checked, flaps 2, and then we can maintain 180 knots. That's a good speed for now. Okay, and then we can also do approach mode, and it should put us on final approach. There it is, perfect. And descending pretty much down to 1000. Looking for 900 since minimum is 880. So Palermo, one of these airports which I've never had for P3D, so at the moment I'm really enjoying flying into airports which I've never flown into before, due to now having a new using a new simulator. And this airport, I think I've mentioned earlier, it's even a handcrafted one, so we don't even need to buy scenery in order to have a nice airfield. Yeah, okay, looks good. Aircraft is exactly doing what it is supposed to do. Eight miles to go. Let's put the speed to managed. And now we can really see that's a big difference in terms of the flight model compared to P3. Back in P3D, if I would do this to manage speed, it would barely slow down. We would probably need to drop the gear to make it slow down. Here it just drops like crazy. Okay, now we can see some bugs. It's jumping around a bit. But how quickly it lost the speed now. That's entirely different to P3D. Okay, gear down, flaps 3. Let's put the lights on. And flaps full. Landing checklist. Why is it not giving me the landing checklist? Ah, there it is. All green, perfect. Now this is coming to 3000. Last quick wing view. Oh, this looks really nice. Okay, one more quick outside view. But now let's focus on the flying. Not entirely sure how to properly disconnect the auto throttle here. Let me try. How I would do it in P3D. Pulling back, then hit. Ooh, that's hard to adjust. Yeah, I think hitting it twice engages it again, which makes it a bit difficult. Autopilot disengage. Same story here. We can only hit it once. And so I think we need to clear out this warning. Alright. Let's see how this goes.
$1,000. 100 above. Minimum.
Continue. Okay, I don't think... that would be interesting to hear from a real pilot. I don't think it was just supposed to do that right now. I think it should guide us down all the way to the runway, but I might be mistaken. A little bit high, correcting.
500.
2 reds, 2 white, looking good. Ooh, some aircraft there. Didn't even check before.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Come on, get down there. There we are. Nice. Reverse. Okay, definitely easier to land than the FS Labs, at least for me. Okay, let's take Bravo now, then we don't have to go all the way. Very good. Welcome to Palermo, guys. 1 hour 19. I was lucky there with the AI traffic. I didn't check it at all. I completely forgot about it. Cool. Nice. Okay, let's do a quick cleanup. Flips are coming up. I think it's gonna be short taxi. Let's fire up the APU. Strobes. TA. Right is clear. Let's taxi in there. I should check the chart. I need to check the chart. Sorry, I don't know the airport. I have no idea. Okay, so we're in Lima. We need to go right on Romeo and then to the gates. Okay, that's good. I intuitively I would have continued straight on. So good to check the charts. Okay, I think we can't just take any stand. Maybe this one. Why is it aircraft not turning from time to time? Ooh, I don't think this one has a jetway. Wow, sorry guys. I don't know why it's not turning from time to time. Can I just taxi straight now? Would that work? Okay. Interesting. Seems like something went wrong with handcrafting this airport. Feels like there should be a jetway, but never mind. Okay, parking brake, and let's cut engines like that. APU bleed, fuel pumps coming off, beacons are coming off, seat belts. This is looking good. Block time or flight time 120. We started after takeoff, so it's a really nonsense time, but that's okay. And then they finally final company message. Arrival message. Time of arrival 1818. Sounds good to me. Deboard, yes please. Oh dang, it's moving in the jetway from the right. Sorry about that, guys. I think it's a scenery issue. Yeah. Now that's not the greatest shot to end the picture. Seems a bit off. But anyhow, so here we are at Palermo. I think that was really fun doing the first full flight video in the Fenix A320 for Microsoft Flight Sim. And yes, I promised you in the beginning to do at least a little bit of a comparison between the FS Labs, of course, these two aircrafts are hard to compare, running on two entirely different platforms. In my opinion, exterior model is superior to the FS Labs. To be fair, it has a few tiny bugs, but of course it's like a first release, so it's definitely going to be sorted out in some future updates. I'm very sure of that. And I think it just can pretty much do everything that the FS Labs can do as well. I'm not necessarily saying it's better. I think in terms of the aircraft, how it flies, how it handles, I would rate them pretty much equal, in my opinion, but yeah, exterior model is better on this one. Sounds, yeah, maybe comes down to preference. Sounds, I personally prefer these sounds, I believe, although the FS Lab sounds are also not too bad. So it's very close. To be very honest with you guys, I mean, two very top-notch aircrafts. Hard to compare them, but yeah, it's anyway fun having an A320 in Microsoft Flight Sim, that's for sure. Okay, and on that note, guys, it's time to end for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been an absolute joy flying the Fenix A320 for the first time, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. And yeah, hope to see you along on the next video. Take good care. Bye bye.